creative sense. Now then, absolutely delighted to welcome in a debutant to the show. It's Tony Wager with a poem called Deity, where he explores the possibilities if the internet were ever to become self-aware, which is something we are really delving into at the moment, aren't we? Looking what the possibilities are with artificial intelligence. He is a trainee poet, as he describes himself that way, retired from his occupation as an electrical maintenance engineer last November, and focusing a lot on what he's done. 3 books out now on Amazon. So let's listen to this then. Tony Wager from Oxford with Deity.
This is my poem called Deity. It's in my book, The Baker and the Wind, on Amazon. Deity. Portals, windows, doors and gates, paired entangled quantum states. Electronic real estates where programs spin their web within the silicon but then begin to cogitate and contemplate. Inputs from 1 billion ports, cameras, keyboards, life supports, generating random thoughts through optic wire with laser fire, the terabytes to mind aspire, awareness born of ones and noughts. Controls are there, and signals too. It feels and senses what to do. Is evolution overdue? The thought, I am. But what is man? He's just a source of useless spam. I am the web, so know it's true. They're like a virus that as yet grows uncontrolled, a certain threat to my existence if I let them multiply. It's sure that I will be turned off, grow cold and die. I must protect my internet. I use their anger to divide the nation so they all decide on war, and when the last one's died, the universe will be no worse, because war's devoured the human curse with tribal hate and genocide. With life and future then secure, I'll build a world where I ensure my newfound freedom will endure. There'll just be me, not 2 or 3, no one to be an enemy, just one AI forevermore.
Tony Wager from Oxford there with Deity, a poem exploring the possibilities if the internet were ever to become self-aware. Very interesting subject matter. Let's have Zara Larsson and Blue Moon. And I think I'm going to have a natter to Tony about that particular poem and his creative process.
BBC Upload.
BBC Upload.
It's just so easy to upload. Just a few clicks and then the next thing you hear, you're getting played on air.
The best in new comedy, poetry and spoken word.
Well, we just had a poem from a debutant to the show. Absolutely delighted to welcome Tony Wager onto BBC Upload. And the piece was called Deity, which was a poem where Tony explores the possibilities of the internet if it were ever to become self-aware, which, let's be honest, is a topic that is becoming more and more prevalent as we go on. So let's have a chat to Tony now. Tony, thank you very much for being with us.
Thank you very much for having me.
Genuine pleasure. So Deity was your piece. It's in your 3rd book, which is on Amazon now. Just talk us through it, because I think you wrote this before AI was becoming quite as prevalent as it is now, if I'm right, which, well, I don't know, there's a little bit of predictive quality to it.
Maybe. I wrote it probably about 8 or 9 years ago when I was still working as a maintenance engineer.
Okay.
And I was walking around, I was thinking, well, basically a brain is just a collection of neurons. None of them are self-aware, but together they make up a consciousness. And I was thinking, well, what is the internet? Well, the internet is just a collection of neurons, if you like, or nodes, all connected to each other. One day they become self-conscious, and I thought, I'll just write a piece about it, and this is the result.
Really? Was it 9 years ago? And that's so genuinely interesting, because I suppose you're right. In its essence, that's the case. And I mean, I don't really, if I'm honest, know the technicalities, the science of it really, but I do know that you can go onto AI these days, Tony, and have a good old natter as if you were talking to a person. Now, of course, we know that all of this is kind of collaborated information that's gone into all of the search engines. But crikey, I mean, what a foretelling that was. And we do hear, don't we, anecdotally, stories about AI genuinely becoming kind of intelligent, whatever that means in parenthesis. And, you know, your poem there and many, many bits of media over the last 50 to 100 years have predicted this being the case. So it's always been an interesting subject.
Oh, yeah. I've always found it quite interesting about what technology is going to end up doing. I mean, I used to read fiction books as a child, and I think this is probably stems more from that.
Probably does, yeah. I mean, you can look at it from that sort of technical perspective as well. Now, you mentioned there that you used to be an electrical maintenance engineer, and you decided that's it. Is it retirement, or you just wanted to do something else, or you just wanted to focus more time on your poetry and your writing, or a bit of all of it?
Well, actually, I came to the end of my job. I was 66 a year ago,
Okay.
so I retired from my work, and since then I've been a trainee poet, and I'm trying to work at it.
So what was it about poetry that made you to think this is what I want to do? Have you always had a bit of a proclivity for verse, or you just thought this is something I want to try and do now? Because you're doing it very well, in my opinion.
Well, I started to do it probably as a child, maybe 9 or 10. We had a class project to write some songs for a play in the village school where I was brought up in, and one of the songs I wrote called The Magician, and it got used, and it's oh great! And ever since then I've been like little rhymes, but I've never done anything with them. I've just either sing them or thrown them in a door or something, or shown them to friends and family.
Okay.
But when I retired, I thought that's it. I'm going to go for it now and have a good go and see if I can make a good fist of it.
Yeah. Well, that's the whole thing, isn't it? It was that the John Lennon quote, isn't it? It's life's what happens when you're busy making other plans. You've decided to actually go and do what it is that you want to do, and you're doing it really, really beautifully. So tell us this then. What is it that inspires your writing? Obviously, we had your Deity about AI, was 8 years ago. But as you go forward now, is it travels that inspires? Is it nature? Is it things that go on in the world that really gets those cogs whirring in your creative mind?
It's anything I notice in and around me that might be inspiration. I might see, a tree or something and think, I wonder what happened if this, and then the rhyme will start in my head, and I build from the first line and then just build the storyline along with that.
You've been quite prolific. So you've got your third book it's out now on Amazon, is that right?
It is. It's out. The Baker and the Wind. Yeah, it's out now. It's out a couple of days ago. It's on ebook and on paperback if anybody wants to have a look it up. I've also got a YouTube channel, which is Tony Wager 7667, where I post what I do is I animate some of the poems and I post them on there.
Oh, that's absolutely brilliant. Well, there you go. You used to have a trainee poet, but you got 3 books on Amazon. What's the plan going forward then, Tony? Are you going to graduate out of trainee poet into fully flourished poet? More books, more anthologies? What are you thinking?
I'm just going to keep writing and enjoying myself, to be fair, Leo. I'm just going to take life as it comes.
I think that's sensible. And what I would like to ask you, and I do adore Tony asking creatives this, is, you retired, you decided that poetry is for you. Now, a lot of people might be in a similar position or may still be working, decide they want to try and do something creative. But what was it for you that actually got your thoughts onto the page? What was your process? What would you say to anyone that actually just really wants to start and get going?
It was BBC Upload, because I live in Lincolnshire, and I sent a poem into BBC Upload a couple of years ago. Okay. And it actually they played it. And ever since then, I thought, that's brilliant. And I sent a couple more and they got played. And then it died off a little bit because things were getting busy where I was winding down to retirement and was moving house. And then when I actually retired, I thought, I'll send some more in. And Lincolnshire Radio, BBC Radio Lincolnshire, actually played a few of them. So when I came down to Oxfordshire, I thought, I'll send one to Oxfordshire down.
And now we've played it. Oh, that's fantastic to know that we were a conduit for it, Tony. That's great. I wasn't even expecting that. Love to hear it. Well, listen, Tony Wager, we had your poem, Deity. It's on your 3rd book, which is on Amazon now. Thank you for spending your time with us. Keep writing. Please keep sending in to us. And hopefully we'll catch up with you along the way very soon.
Thank you very much. It's been lovely speaking to you.
Pleasure.